Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, October 1st. Welcome to another episode of Together San Diego. I'm your host, Luis Cruz, Community Relations Director for the San Diego Union-Tribune. And joining me this afternoon is Kelli Gillespie and Ling Nazar, co-founders of Family Entourage. It's great to have you back on. How have you been?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Excited to talk about what we're going to be talking about today. Which is going to be, you're going to be giving us some tips on safe, fun, and socially distant activities for the entire family this fall season. We were talking about this before we got started. I know we're in fall, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. It's like 100 degrees out here. Nevertheless, you have some great outdoor activities. We're in the middle of apple picking season. Kelli, where should we go and what do we need to know during this time of COVID?
Okay, so I had always wanted to go apple picking, and for whatever reason, my family, we just never got the opportunity to head out to Julian and take advantage of having that property so close to us. So we did. We packed up the car, we drove out there. It's a beautiful drive, and we went apple picking. They have a handful of U-Pick farms. We wanted to go somewhere that was large, so we actually just picked Vulcan Valley because they have 8,000 trellises and 7 different varieties of apples. I didn't know how the kids would do, but they really enjoyed being, hands-on, getting to pull apples from the tree, learn about them, and it's parking's free. It will run you about 10 to 15 bucks a bag, depending on how you approach that with your family, which is great for the experience. You get to take home your apples. My kids wanted to taste them along the way, and staff assured us that that was okay. So I have bites of apple in my bag. But it was fun. It was fun to understand where food comes from. It was fun to learn about how they grow. And then, of course, you can't head out to Julian without stopping at one of the pie companies on your way home. And so we indulged in some of their varieties of different apple desserts that they had that were really delicious. One of the things that I found really interesting, Luis, is the size of the apples. Take a look at this. My son was like, is this apple full grown? But they are. We talked with the guides there, and they're tiny. This is what they look like when they grow on a tree, and it's the perfect size. They're delicious. This one's a little more golden and tart. This one is great for making applesauce or pies or something later. But it was fun to get to learn about the apples as we went. It was something that we could all do together, and it was a really fun day.
So again, this is up in Julian.
Julian, not too far, depending on where you live. We're 45 minutes, an hour out. A beautiful scenic drive. And it was very warm, but they did a great job social distancing. We wore a mask at times, and then there were also times where we didn't see any other people. So we were able to take them off and kind of enjoy that mountain air.
Awesome. All right, Ling, many families are distance learning and looking for fall activities with educational value. How does the Birch Aquarium help accomplish these goals?
A great thing to do that we've been doing as a family is trying to do field trip Fridays. And so going out and exploring some of those places that we might not otherwise get to see if our kids were in school all the time. And so for us, it's something we get to look forward to. San Diego has kids free right now. Oh, we'll do Birch Aquarium. So the Birch Aquarium has, if you want to go in person, you're going to reserve a ticket time so that they can just track how many people are coming in, and they can make sure everyone's socially distanced. They have such creative signage throughout the aquarium. To stay 6 feet away. They have little dots where your family stands, and then you can make sure that everyone's spaced out. And then we just took time and we looked at everything. Our favorite spot is open, the tide pools, and so you just sanitize your hands, and the kids get to touch and feel all those different things in the tide pools as well. And then if your family isn't comfortable doing that, then you can also do their virtual program. That's the after school program. They have great videos of the animals and the caretakers that are doing that as well.
Great. Now, Halloween is going to be a little different this year. Kelli, what are some fun options for families at different safety levels?
Well, yeah, so trick-or-treating may be canceled, or we may not be able to go door to door as the health and safety standards are telling us, but that doesn't mean Halloween can't still happen. And if it's something where you feel like you just want to still stay home, I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan, and he gathered his comedian friends, and they have a new film that drops on Netflix next week. It's called Hubie Halloween. It's so funny. You'll get good laughs. It has great themes and messaging to it as well. So you can stay home and make it, you know, a movie time for your family to still kind of get into the spirit. But if you're willing to venture out a little bit more, theaters have opened, and I love what Sinopolis is doing. They have $5 films for the month of October, and they pick some of our Halloween favorites, you know, ones that the family can enjoy, like a Coco or The Nightmare Before Christmas, all the way up to maybe an adult night at The Shining or The Exorcist, but a relatively inexpensive way for you to still feel like you're going out, maybe get dressed up and go to the theater and enjoy films there. And if your kids are begging you, please let us put our costumes on. We want to get candy. Legoland is a great option for this. They're still waiting approval for the park to open. However, they've completely transformed Miniland, and now it's Halloween in Miniland. They have, you know, socially distant meet and greets with the characters. They've got all the, you know, little spooky surprises here and there. Every kid will get a bag of candy when they leave. So it's a great way to be outdoors and like many events that are going on right now, you sign up online. It's as little as $12.99. You pick a date and a time slot. It's running every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through the month of October. And that way they can manage the flow of people. So you can still be safe, but also able to experience Halloween. And maybe you just pick a costume that has a mask this year.
Right. Well, that's true, right? That'll be that's actually a good idea.
Spider-Man. I said, great, we're gonna get you the full face covering, and we're going out.
That's good. See, exactly. You can have a little fun and be safe at the same time. I love it. Good ideas. Let's see. Traditionally, the month of October is Kids Free San Diego. What does it look like this year?
Yeah, so we know that having a family and taking them out, whether it's out to eat or out to a place to visit or out to a place to stay, gets expensive. And so we always look forward to Kids Free San Diego every October. And a lot of our favorite places are still doing that celebration. So you can head out to the San Diego Zoo or Safari Park. You can go on a San Diego Harbor cruise, the San Diego Railway Museum, as well as the Air and Space Museum. And just like Kelli mentioned, any of those places, you want to check beforehand what safety precautions they're asking the guests to do, because each place is going to be different. So you don't want to just show up and be, you know, thrown off. Make sure that you check out what their ticketing system and reservation system looks like. And again, as one of my friends had this really great thing that I love is that at any point you don't feel comfortable, it's always okay to leave. Just let the management know, see if you can come back another time. Because, you know, it is still all new how we're having to do this as families. And something that I saw when we went to the aquarium was that everyone did a really great job of making sure as parents or guardians that they were taking care of their kids and reminding them. And so it really is up to us. All of these places are doing great of reminding people to stay 6 feet. But at the end of the day, whether you go to Julian or whether you go to the zoo, it's up to us as adults to make sure that our pod stays together.
Right. We are so privileged to be a coastal state, and this is one of the best times of the year to explore tide pools. Kelli, what was your family experience like?
Okay, so I had lived in Point Loma for years, and I had never taken advantage of the tide pools that are at Cabrillo National Monument. If you don't know where Cabrillo is, it's at the very tip of the peninsula at Point Loma. And it was fantastic. It's so beautiful, the coast and the cliffs there. And so we had a great time, but there are a lot of things I learned that I would do differently for my next trip. So I'm gonna relay that information to you. The is gorgeous. You can get down, you can go right into the water. And our kids had these Petey Ped water shoes on, so it made it great for them to tramp on the rocks and go in the water. My husband and I wore closed-toed shoes as suggested. However, I feel like if you threw a pair of like foam flip-flops in, that would have been a little bit better in order to wade around in the water. You know, we were hoping to see starfish and seahorses. We got a sea anemone and we got some hermit crabs, stuff that moved. So of course the kids were real excited. And guides and rangers said that it kind of starts now and goes through December. And winter is really one of the strongest times where tide is low during the day. So you can take advantage of being able to see a lot more when Cabrillo's open. And it is on a military base, so it will take a little bit of time for you to get on. And they do annual passes if you thought you would go back several times, and that gives you a separate lane. There's parking right by where the tide pools are, so you have a little bit of a hike, but nothing too strenuous. Obviously, we did it there with a toddler, and a 5-year-old. However, that was full, so I've had my husband go park a couple parking lots down. Took him about a half a mile to come back and meet us, but it's a beautiful hike and walk. And just keep in mind too that these are cliffs; they're not roped off. So if your kids get close to the edge, you should be yelling at them to come back, because it was a little nerve-wracking in that sense. They understood the severity of if you were to step off, you're stepping off. But it's so pretty, and they do have some of the information blocks up there where you know what you're looking at. And it overall was a great experience, and something that I hope we incorporate into our routine moving forward as a family too.
Great advice.
I was gonna say that has been one of the fun things, whether we're virtual learning or homeschool learning, whatever it might be, is we're kind of giving that thing to look forward to. So we're reading the books, or we're doing, if the kids are online for 4 hours, some of them sitting from the computer screen for 4 or 5 hours every day, to plan something like going to the tide pools, so they can look forward to it. And then again, it brings it all to life for them.
Yeah. Being outdoors has taken an even bigger priority this year, and with so many great options for hiking throughout San Diego, how can families know where to go? What recommendations do you have?
Yeah, so that's one of the things our family did before COVID. And then since COVID, we have been doing it even more. We've been going out 2 or 3 times a month. It's kind of like our time to just relax and get some fresh air and explore new places. The Canyoneers has a great website. You can go to San Diego Natural History Museum. They do guided free tours. And just make sure you check wherever you're going. We were surprised when we went to one of our favorite hiking spots that whole area was closed because they couldn't maintain social distancing on it. So you don't want to get there and get all disappointed that you can't hike all together. And so just make sure that you check. And again, you can make sure that you bring your masks because there's places where you'll have to pass people and they'll ask you to have masks on for that part as well. But other than that, you can breathe in the fresh air, take in a sunset, explore some of the different nature that's around you. San Diego has so many great hiking places. You can hike along the oceans and the cliffs, or you can do something that's more in the forest. And so you have all these different climates and landscapes as well.
Yeah, one of the cool things too on familyentourage.com, we linked a site that has 10 of the best hikes to do in San Diego. So it maps it out for you. So if you're an amateur and you're not sure where you're going and you don't want to get lost and have the whole rescue occur, you can take a look there and have them help plot out your path for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're the co-founders of Family Entourage. What kind of information can people expect to find on your website?
Yeah, so we not only share our favorite events and activities and things that bring the family closer together, but we also talk to some of your favorite celebrities about their family and about their parenting. And so we love hearing what other families and celebrities are doing, especially during this time of COVID, how they're coping, how they're homeschooling. So
yeah, when I was chatting with Adam Sandler and the cast with Hubie Halloween, Maya Rudolph, her youngest are still very much at the trick-or-treating and dressing up stage. And she was like, I'm leaning on my other parent friends, and maybe we're going to do a scavenger hunt around the house. And she talks about some of the different options that they're going to do and how she's trying to keep her kids from dressing up her dog. She said animals should not wear costumes. But, everyone's working through this together. No, there's no blueprint for it. So we love to hear people that have endless resources, what they're doing, and others that are just trying to, put a couple pennies together and make it happen. We're all there trying to stay safe,
stay sane,
yes, but still provide some level of normalcy for our families and for our kids so that they don't feel like they're missing out on anything. But at the same time, we want to make sure that protection is the most important.
Mm-hmm. One of the tips we've seen a lot of moms doing when we've been out at these places is that not only are they carrying the backpack or the diaper bag with the stuff that they might need for the day, but they're doing like a little care pack that they can put their masks in. So we have the neck gaiter or the more traditional mask, and then the hand sanitizer. So we're just putting it in. This is like it's like called B-Set from Jujube, but you just throw it all in. I whip it out. I mean, I was already a germaphobe before COVID. I mean, Kelly knows this. So I'm like everything. Anytime they touched anything at the aquarium, I hand sanitized, but they also had hand sanitizers throughout too, which was reassuring as a parent that was going there too.
Well, lots of great advice. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think just, like we've been chatting about, the idea of do what's comfortable, do what you feel is comfortable for your family. There's no right answer. It's fun if you can get out and you feel comfortable exploring some of the different things that San Diego has to offer, because we do live in such a fantastic city. And I feel like everyone as a whole is trying their best to allow for San Diego to reopen and for restaurants to welcome you, and the importance of, shopping and staying local. But if you feel like that's not in your comfort level, there are so many ways that businesses and organizations are doing virtual, learning or experiences, because they still want to make sure that your family is, getting fed in a way that is stimulating and exciting for them, so that you don't have any type of gloominess while you're home, and you just take this time and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Well, lots of great recommendations. Thank you both again. Always appreciate having you on and sharing your advice with us. Kelli Gillespie, Ling Nazar of Family Entourage, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Louise.
And thank you very much at home for watching. Have a great day, everybody.
You could be spreading a killer. It's a dangerous dragon called SARS-CoV-2, and its deadly bite is COVID-19. It escapes through aerosolized droplets every time we cough or sneeze, but also when we simply talk or sing. This dragon has left its mark, with nearly 190,000 dead in the US alone, and climbing. Contain and defeat this dragon. Wear a mask. Keep a 6-foot distance from others. Together, we can take back our world.
San Diegans accomplish great things every day. We care about our neighbors and our community. We are proud of our diversity. We are resilient. We hold our leaders accountable. We live in one of the most dynamic cities in America, the San Diego Union-Tribune, telling San Diego's story for more than 150 years.